Ladies and gentlemen, keep in mind that on Monday we're getting 19 minutes of My Rise gameplay with dev commentary. I'm sure WWE is going to follow up with a ringside report, so stay tuned for more on that. But before we get into today's video, I want to share my thoughts on this situation that has been going on Twitter. Shout out to Just Brian, Pro Wrestling Shoe, Everything Pro Wrestling. They did a fantastic job interviewing Brian Williams. If you guys haven't seen those videos/streams, check them out. But in all seriousness, the clapback, the crash out, the outburst that the community has had against Brian Williams and some of these interviewers is just mind-boggling. I don't know why I'm surprised. It's the internet. People get to act however they want, and no one is there to judge them and roast them. Therefore, people are going out of their way to bash and trash not just the interviewers, but Brian Williams, who works on WWE 2K25. Now, I don't want to act like a white knight in shining armor or anything like that. I don't want to do that. But I want to bring attention to the situation because I think it's ridiculous that we're talking about a video game based on wrestling, and instead of having fun with it, we're focused on this and that makes us unhappy. If you're that miserable, if you're that upset with the game, don't buy it. You can share your displeasure, you can share your point of view, but attacking the people that work on the game or that are producing content for the game, like myself, because they're excited or because they're talking about something they're looking forward to, is crazy. Let that sink in. All right? Move on. Go outside. Touch some grass. Take a breath of fresh air. Go on a long walk in a short pier. Seriously.
On this island where the waves crash hard, join the tribe.
So we got some more news to get into. I haven't covered all the details that were revealed in the interviews because I want to give you guys a chance to discuss them in the comments like we've been doing. Today we're going to be talking about more things that might piss you off and some things I'm really looking forward to in WWE 2K25, as well as some new entrances that got shown. We'll start off first with Karrion Kross. We didn't see his entrance just yet, but look at his updated model. We're finally getting an accurate Karrion Kross without having to update him ourselves. That is beautiful. I love it. Karrion Kross looks awesome. Now, he hasn't been doing too hot on the main roster lately. I'll be honest. He could be doing a little better. But what I like about Karrion Kross is that he takes everything they give him and tries turning it into something. You know, making something out of nothing is basically what The Miz has done his entire career, and look at how successful he has been. So I love that Karrion Kross got updated. I'm going to be using him. Hopefully he gets a little boost in the ratings as well. If not, then I guess we'll just have to wait for him to go on a run in real life, and then we'll see some more. But how about Gunther? Gunther got his entrance revealed, and he also looks very spot on. Notice he is coming out with the World Heavyweight Championship belt around his waist. They have updated this game and made it to look exactly like we see it on TV, and that is something that I'm very thrilled to talk about here right now. So Brian Williams mentioned that they're trying to find creative ways to update the game post-launch to make the game as updated as it possibly can be. And unfortunately, they didn't have enough time to put the US and Intercontinental title for the women's division. You guys know that title was just in a tournament a couple months ago, and it was introduced recently on TV. It hasn't been that long. Definitely not enough time to just put it together for the women's division. He said specifically that they couldn't put it in My Rise universe and the game modes that the game features, and therefore they didn't want to just shove it in there without having accessibility to it. And it makes sense. I know we're not developers, we don't work on these things, and we create titles for ourselves and we just slap it together and put it into the game, which is what we're going to have to do with that women's belt. But, you know, to sit here and say, oh, they're lazy, they don't care, is Again, mind-boggling. Because when you hear someone that works on the game talk about the game they're working on and share the joy that Brian Williams has shared and others have shared in the past, you can tell that they're passionate about what they're doing. They're not just trying to slap garbage together and dish it out, which is something that I admire, you know. And before you guys go ahead and say, oh, you're just trying to kiss at... No, bro, no. I say this all the time on stream. I come on here to have a good time. Yeah, we can criticize, we can share our issues with the game, but we got to be constructive about it. Being disrespectful, being nasty is going to get you nowhere in life. At least in my eyes, that's how I feel about it. Clearly, the community doesn't really care about anything. They just voice a bunch of mumbo jumbo and they go off, and it's like a get nowhere conversation. So instead of doing that, I'd rather be constructive. I'd rather be joyful. And as corny as that may be for you, then it is what it is. But yes, the US and Intercontinental title will not make its debut at launch in the base game, but that does not mean we won't see it at all this year in WWE 2K25, because again, Brian Williams said they're working on it. They're actively working on adding it to the game. So that means we may get it later this year in a DLC update, hopefully. Fingers crossed. But into the next topic. We've been talking about these entrances, right? You know, we saw Gunther carrying Cross. We've recently seen the Bloodline, Alpha Academy. We don't want to go there. But we found out that Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson do have their entrance coming this year, which the community was worried about, including myself, because they have one of the best entrances in NXT. And bringing that onto WWE 2K25 was going to be a lot of fun for groups that we may want to create, you know, and use it for other superstars. So I like that we now know that they're going to have their official entrance in the game. That is super cool. Now, another thing that I wanted to talk about as well is that Brian Williams emphasized on the team wanting to add more free flow mechanics to the gameplay. Whether it's navigating or weapon physics, they're looking at ways to make this game feel more, you know, loose and not so animated. That's what I took from, you know, the conversation he was having with Jesse over at Pro Wrestling Shoot. Because Jesse was asking him about the weapon physics being like 2011 and SmackDown versus Raw. And Brian Williams said, you know what? That's exactly what we've talked about behind the scenes. And we're trying to achieve that. We're just not there yet. And while we didn't get all the info that we might have wanted out of these interviews, we got enough to go by. And on top of the fact that we got to hear some of the things that they're working on for future iterations. And if that means that you have to wait till 2K26 or 27, maybe that's your best option. For me, I'm looking forward to it. So that's kind of where we're at with the game. Now, we have seen in these recent screenshots and matches that there is visible damage done to the body that was not there before. So that's another update I haven't really appreciated with you guys on stream and in video. But for me personally, that is something that I really wanted to see in the series. And I'm glad that they have achieved that with WWE 2K25, despite its flaws and issues that it may come packing with. Now, does that mean that I'm not looking forward to it because there's a couple things I didn't like? No, of course not. There's way more to look forward to. And that's what I'm going to continue to focus on, because I'd rather spend time, you know, on something that I like versus crying about what I don't. I do voice what I don't. And if that's not enough for you, then I don't know what to tell you. So I'll see you real soon with some more WWE 2K25. You better believe we're going to be in that My Rise reveal on Monday, because we're doing a stream and a video covering it. And of course, we're going to be doing our Tough Enough watch party over at LexxExpress Plus. I'm talking about LFG, available on A&E. So till then, I'll see you real soon. Peace. Let's go, man.
LexxExpress is calling, shaping every view. Subscribe and join the legend, let's see what you'll do.
Every comment's welcome, every like's a cheer. Your opinions light the way, there's nothing you should fear.
Share your thoughts and insights, let your voices grow. With Lexx by your side, the universe will glow. Hit that button, oh so bright, in this digital night. LexxExpress is here to guide us with an epic light. Comment, share, and like.